Okay, so the next thing we're going to tackle is an essay called This I Believe. Now, I wanted to give you a little background on This I Believe. This I Believe was started back in the 1950s by a journalist named Edward R. Murrow. And the first person who comes to my room and tells me who Edward R. Murrow was, besides the journalist who started This I Believe, we'll get 2 extra credit points. First person. Act quickly. Anyway, so this, I believe, was started by a journalist named Edward R. Murrow. And it started during the 1950s when there was kind of some negative hostility going on in the country. There was the Red Scare with Joseph McCarthy. There was a lot of racism and segregation. And just a lot of hostile, tense feelings going on in the country. So this journalist, Murrow, decided to start this project called This I Believe, in which he had very famous people like Albert Einstein and Jackie Robinson and people like that write down kind of their personal belief statements, their personal mission statements. And then they would explain these kind of things in this essay, and then he would have them on his radio show, and they would read their I believe essays to the general public, and it just kind of created this, happier, or kind of maybe helped create a happier, more positive environment where people were a little bit more optimistic about, the world they were currently living. And then about 50 years later, NPR, National Public Radio, picked up this project, and they decided to have celebrities continue. But this time they wanted also just regular average people like you and me also write in to create this, to work on this project as well. So we are going to write a This I Believe essay. So what the first thing I want you to do is go to this website, thisibelieve.org, and it takes you to this website right here. And it has a whole bunch of different essays written by a variety of people, some famous, some not famous. And it's a really, really cool thing. And you can read these essays, you can listen to these essays, so on and so forth. But what I want you to do is, before you even start thinking about writing one, I want you to explore some of the essays on here. And you can look at featured essays. You can look at 1950s essays. If you click on this one of my favorites is right down here. Oh, Gandhi has one. That's a good one. Let's see. Yeah, Jackie Robinson, Free Minds and Hearts at Work. It's Jackie Robinson's, and it's a really cool. It's a really cool piece about kind of how Jackie Robinson views, being the first man of color to play in Major League Baseball. So there's some really good ones, but you can obviously scroll down. There's lots of them. But anyway, so you could look at those, or you could look at some featured essays. These are ones that people that this project just thinks are really, really good. There's Brian Grazer, famous person. He is a film director, film producer. So there's lots of different options here. But what I want you to do is I want you to listen to 3 essays. Pick any 3 you like that sound interesting to you, and on a Google document, I want you to summarize 3 essays. So you're going to make sure you list the title of the essay, the author of the essay, and then just a brief, 4-sentence summary about what this essay was about, who this person was, so on and so forth. Okay? So you're going to do that. And then when you are done on that same document, I want you to brainstorm 10 things that you absolutely believe to be 100% true. Okay? So I'm going to share that with you right now. So I'm going to open a Google document. Oops, let's just do this over here. And we'll get on my personal or my school Gmail. Okay? And I'm going to open a Google document, and I am going to just share with you 10 things that I believe. I might not get the 10 in the time that I have here, but I'll list a few. So I'm going to make a new document. I'm going to call it This I Believe. So at the top, I would have my 3 summaries. Okay. So I got my 3 summaries of the 3 essays that I listened to from thisibelieve.org. And then I'm going to list 10 things I believe. Now, the key with this is you don't want to list things that are factually true. You don't want to list things like, I believe the sky is blue, or I believe Valentine's Day is in February. Like, all those things are factually true. But you want to mention things that you believe are so important to you that they are facts as far as you're concerned. So, for example, I might list, let's see, earlier I mentioned Breaking Bad as one of my favorite television shows. So I'm going to list, I believe that Walter White is the ultimate bad guy, and I love him. Okay? I might also say, I believe my grandpa is the most content person I have ever met. Let's see, what's another one? I believe that literature is the most powerful form of artistic expression. And I'll do one more for you. I believe that love is the most powerful emotion and the only one that truly matters. Okay, so you can see that some of those are kind of fun, some of those are a little bit more personal, and you can list really fun ones, you can list really personal ones. It doesn't matter. We're going to list 10 things that you believe. Then, once you have listed those 10 things, I want you to choose one of them that you think, you know what, this is something I'm really passionate about. This is something I could really write something about. And if that's a serious thing, great. If that's a funny thing, fine. Doesn't matter. So, I'm looking at this list. No offense to my grandpa, but I could probably write a whole essay about Walter White in Breaking Bad. I love that show that much. Okay? So then I've decided I'm going to write my essay on Walter White and Breaking Bad. And then what I want you to do, once you've done that, is I want you to go back to This I Believe. And if you click on the Educators tab and you click on This I Believe Essay Writing Guidelines, this is what you have to do for this essay. So if I'm going to write an essay about, I believe that Walter White is the best bad guy, or is the ultimate bad guy, and I'm absolutely crazy about him. I am going to talk about Walter White. I could tell a brief story about the first time I saw Breaking Bad, or one of the most memorable moments that I experienced while watching Breaking Bad and the impact that that had on me. I can talk about just the memories that I associate with Breaking Bad. I used to watch it with my sister and my brother-in-law, and we would always just get so into it and have so much fun watching Breaking Bad. So I can talk about that. Maybe that's a reason why I really enjoy Walter White, because even though he was a bad guy, he made some memories with my family. I want to be brief. I want to tell the story. I want to write my essay in 500 to 600 words, and absolutely no more than 600. Once you start getting to 500, you're pretty good. 500 is about 2 pages type double space. Name your belief. If you cannot name the belief in 1 or 2 sentences, it's probably too long, so be really brief. I want you to use the sentences and the statements that you make on this document right here, okay? And then I want you to be positive, right? Don't tell me what you don't believe in. Tell me what you do believe in, right? Be positive about your beliefs. And last but not least, try to be as personal as possible. One other person in the class is going to read this, but this isn't going to go on a discussion board for everyone to look at. So try to be as positive as you can, or try to be as personal as you can, mostly because I want to take this as an opportunity to really get to know you. a little bit better on top of what I discovered in your SMORE and so on and so forth. I want to get to know you as much as I possibly can. So be personal if it's appropriate. Share with me something that you're comfortable sharing with me, but know that only one other person in the class is going to read it. Okay? Then when you are done, you can stop there for now. And if we go back and look at our week at a glance, what you're going to have to do is, I'm sorry, I'm going to move myself out of the way here. What you need to do is, come on, there we go. You want to have your rough draft completed by Wednesday night at 11:59 p.m. Now, this is not going to go on a Schoology. This is not going to be submitted to Schoology yet. You just want to have it on your Google Drive. And you want to have it shared with me no later than August 17th by 11:59. So by Wednesday, August 17th, 11:59, it needs to be shared with me. And you're also going to share it with one other person, and that will be posted on Schoology as well, who you're going to share with my directions for peer editing. But for right now, don't worry about that. Just complete your 3 summaries, write your 10 belief statements, and then write your essay of 500 to 600 words about your belief statement. And if you're really struggling with this, you can always come talk to me, email me, ask me any questions, but I really encourage you to look at thisibelieve.org. A lot of great ideas right there, a lot of good resources, and it can be kind of inspiring to listen to those pieces before you tackle your own. I would also remind you that they don't have to be, those that are on that website are some of the best essays that this organization has found. So, you might not write one that's quite as good, that's okay. You might write one that's better, and that's great, but don't feel like it has to be, as well written and as professional as the ones you see on that website. We're going to try to get as close as we can, but it might not quite make it, and that's all right. Okay, so make sure it's shared with me by 11:59 on Wednesday, August 17th, and then once it is shared with me, I will give you directions on peer editing, and we'll take it from there. So go get them. Tell me what you believe in. Be personal. Have a good time with it. Don't think too hard about it. Like I always say, if you think long, you're thinking wrong. So just go for it, write it, and we'll take it from there. All right. See you guys later.